Welcome back, people. We're here for another episode. I know we continued. We didn't space it out another 1,000 days. We are here.
Over 1,000 days.
You're right. Sorry. Don't want to underestimate our procrastination.
Yes.
We are back, and what are we talking about today, Kevin?
So, a big thing going on is the quarantine. Also, I'd like to point out we are less than 12 hours away from the return episode being released.
Oh, true. Yeah, it hasn't been uploaded yet, so we are on top of it right now, recording
Yes.
2 before it even gets uploaded. That's crazy.
We're pulling a D4 in theory in the house.
Quick shout out for them, yeah. But yeah, so I think the topic of today will mostly be life in quarantine. What's it like to live through a pandemic?
Oh, yeah. Because it's very hot right now where almost everyone across the nation is either shelter in place or the weird states that are like, nah, you're good.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm not. I'm technically an essential employee, so I'm not actually like staying at home this entire time. I'm going to work every day that I'm scheduled to, and I'm handling things on that level. And
Yeah.
it's very interesting the like variety of people I see. Of some people are like super hazmat, basically wearing hazmat suits. They're revealing that little. And then we have people that are just like, nah, I'm gonna act like everything's normal. But it's very interesting, like, because it's always a variety. It's either I would say people under 30 or people over 80 or 70 that are like the people that are just like, nah, I'm good. I'm not gonna change the way I am.
Mm-hmm.
And
I gotta be honest, I am definitely one of those people.
yeah, I am too. I straight up rolled in like t-shirt, shorts, and flip flops on one of my days off, and I'm like, hey, I need bugs.
Yeah,
And
I went out today, just out into the local park, and I was just wearing like tank top and shorts, sunglasses.
mhm.
I was just like, yep, that's all I need.
and it's it's very interesting how people are handling it
Oh yeah,
because you have your preppers that are like, this is the worst thing ever. And do you remember the show Doomsday Preppers? Did you ever watch that?
I never watched it, but I knew of it.
You knew of
Like
it?
I knew of the show.
It's
Yeah.
just people with their bunkers typically made out of the metal shipping containers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the like it's like, is this what you were preparing for? Like typically it's zombie apocalypse, but it's like, is this counting? I want to know if these people are in their shelters.
Yeah.
That's a very
It's
big
like
question for me.
this is what they were waiting for, and they're like, haha, I told you.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else is like, I'll live.
Everyone else is like, why not?
Whatever.
But
Yeah.
it's like so many people are being affected, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
weird because like schools are shut down, and it's not summertime.
Yep.
I'm gonna
My
be
school shut
honest.
down.
It's something I 100% expected. Um, I was expecting the roads to be empty during the day. There's a lot more traffic than you would think for like
That's true.
a
There's a
shelter in
surprising amount
place.
of people still driving around.
Hmm. But the worst is the people that they're just casually like, "Oh, it was a nice day. When we just decided to pop on in for a nice how do you do," which has happened before a couple of times at the store,
I've heard. I've
and
heard of said people.
it's it's really annoying because it's like, all right, I'm immunocompromised. I'm not trying to get killed here. I'm trying to
Yeah.
make money so I can afford my rent. That's what I'm doing, the American way. Um,
No. My dad works in retail, and he said the same thing. These had people walk in and be like, "Oh, I just need to get out of the house," and he's like, "Well, go away, go somewhere else. I don't want you here."
The worst was my store is right next to a Chuck E. Cheese,
Oh no.
and a family came in already heated because they were kicked out of Chuck E. Cheese because it's closed except for carry-out foods.
Surprise.
All right, hold on a second. I gotta go
Sure.
take care of something. Vamp.
This is where I fill in the space. This is me. Wow, I had something to say and then I completely lost it. But that's okay. I'm sure Kevin will be back soon enough. So you guys like jazz? Wow, I was really not prepared to solo this episode. Oh geez. Do you guys know why fish swim in schools?
All right.
It's because they can't walk. Welcome back, Kevin.
Did you line up that joke?
I filled the airtime. What can I say?
Did you actually, or did you just silent?
If you listen back, you'll find out.
All right, I'm not gonna listen back, and I'm just gonna post as is.
Oh god. Okay, perfect.
Oh god.
But anyways, as you were saying.
I don't know. There was a bug on the wall and it distracted me.
Oh, that is something like really important.
This is the second time today I got up from my setup to handle something very. I mean, it's a bug, but it's something
Right.
really obscure. The first time I just finished recording with Dan,
Mm-hmm.
and it we just stopped the recording. We're just talking on Discord like we are now, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked down the carpet next to me, and there's Bean the cat. She's like spazzing out, like not in like a normal like her just rolling around way. Like I was like, are you humping the like ground right now? Like what's going on? And then I took off my headphones, and I'm like, oh, these are like she's throwing up. Like she's about to throw up. She's making like heaving sounds.
Oh.
And then it gets better yet worse.
Oh.
I watched her as she hawks up a giant hairball with so much force that she hits her head on my glass door leading to my deck. And she knocked herself for a loop. Like, I thought she died for a second. She was just...
Oh, no.
She laid on the ground motionless right after that. And I'm like, holy shit. My cat just knocked herself out. And I, like, got up and checked on her. And she, like, was, like, very fuzzy. And the rest of the night... This was, like, at 3 p.m. It's now 11. She's been, like, a little bit slower and more cautious. And it's just like, you knocked yourself for a loop.
Poor Bean.
Okay, so she's gonna be coddled and spoiled the next couple of days because
she better be.
She's a beans, and she legitimately gave herself a concussion.
Aw. No, she's learning. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, back to quarantine topics.
Yes. So
would you say your life has changed much since this whole thing happened?
Honestly, personally, no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to work like normal. I'm sure I'm not hanging out with people in person.
No.
But it's also like I probably wouldn't have anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, my life is actually not very affected.
That's what I assumed.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty much the same. I mean, obviously school has been canceled, so I'm not going in anymore. But we're just doing everything online now. And because I only have one class and it's a discussion class, it's basically no different. Like the only difference is now
You're online.
is I don't have to drive into school every day. Now I just do the same thing I normally would, but at home, which makes me think like, why couldn't I just
Do
do
this
this
in the
from the
first place.
beginning? You know, like
That's
why was
actually
I
a big
driving?
argument I've seen.
Yeah, I've seen
Using
some other
that,
people say the same thing.
where it's like we are proving the ability to working from home and doing schoolwork digitally right now. And my favorite is like there's like two groups of people. There's people that are with it are like, see, it can be done. And then other people are just like really malicious about it.
Yeah,
It's like this could have been done the entire time. See how easy it is us going to work and not like telecommuting or not telecommuting to school is a big scam, basically. Big pharma, big whatever.
big pharma, big meat industry, all the big things,
Big show.
big time rush, everything.
Big time rush, yes.
But yeah, I've seen that people are really like, yo, why haven't we been doing this? Which is like fair, I guess, but I think it would be much more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And also I think that it's kind of a bad message to send, like, oh, we could have just been staying indoors at all times. I could be living in my house and never leaving and be okay. And it's like, well, I mean, maybe you should leave sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean you have to stay in your house. It's just that you can.
Mm-hmm.
Which honestly, at this point in like society, are you really surprised?
No.
Like we should have that ability, at least for where we live in the world.
Yeah. For being in allegedly a first world nation,
Mm-hmm.
but with how we've been handling things, apparently other parts of the world are like, do we really consider that them still that?
That's true.
But like like with Amazon and all these like DoorDash, Grubhub services, it's like we don't really need to leave the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of curious to see how it would go, like seeing how long we can last inside of a house
Mm-hmm.
and who's making something.
My sister.
Nice.
Yeah.
But it's like I want to know how long like a group of people can stay in the same house without leaving, but I'm scared of how long that would be.
Isn't that like the plot of Big Brother?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Hmm.
But it's like they're also like completely cut off. So
Yeah, I saw the video where they like showed, I think it was like the German version,
yeah, where
like,
they had to
yeah, by the
announce.
way, we're in a pandemic, and everyone was like, huh?
Yeah. But it's like us now. Like if we somehow got to a point where CastPod as well as other projects are sustainable enough to be like full time for all of us somehow,
Mm-hmm.
which will never happen.
Probably not. We'll see. We'll see.
But it's like I kind of want to do that. I want to see if we could spend like an entire week inside the same house or building and not leave.
Yeah,
Like for
I mean,
anything, where
I've
we'll still
found
have
so far,
access to the internet and stuff. So it's like,
yeah, like it's so far for me, it's been quite a while. Like I've not needed to leave pretty much at all.
yeah.
It's only been when I've wanted to.
But it's like it's very weird, and I feel like some people go a lot more stir crazy than others faster. Like that's kind of
Oh,
why Big
definitely.
Brother they go a little bit crazy by the end of it. It's because
Yeah.
they're so cut off. But it's like we wouldn't be cut off. We would still be able to do things like watch TV,
Mm-hmm.
play video games, especially if it's our job at that point.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's just like, how long would we truly be able to last without going outside? I give myself, I would say I could go at least a week in the wintertime,
Hmm.
easily. But I feel like if it's nice out and we have like windows in the area, I'm just gonna be like, nope, I gotta do it. I gotta just figure out a reason to go outside.
I feel like I pretty easily do a week, no matter what time of year.
Look at
But
me,
like,
Mr. Big Shot.
well, I mean, because like I like going outside. Obviously, I do it.
Hmm.
But I think if it was like a challenge, I could probably stand for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be hurting you guys a little bit if
Hmm.
you and Danny were filming that show you're working on.
That's true. That would be a problem.
I've also noticed that I think Danny's the top breaker of the shelter in place that I know of.
Oh yeah,
I've seen him hanging out with people and outside quite a few times.
yeah. He's definitely infecting a ton of people.
It's, it's actually the D in COVID stands for Danny.
uh, I mean, yeah. Like I do feel bad when I go out a little bit because I don't need to go out, and
Hmm.
if I am interacting with other people, although I try to avoid it, unless like
But
if I'm
that's
going
nothing new.
yeah, if I'm going out with people, like if people are like, if it's like Danny or people from Villanova who are like, hey, we want to go do a thing, and I'm like, okay, and it's like, obviously they're not that worried because they're willing to go interact with other people.
Hmm.
But if I'm walking the dog around the neighborhood or something, and there are people outside, I try to avoid them. I go on the other side of the street, or anything like that to try to keep my distance. But like, it seems like other people just don't care a lot of the
Yeah.
time. Like, I'll like just the other day using that exact example, um, walking the dog, and there's just like people everywhere. Like
Hmm.
everywhere I went, there were other people either walking their dog or riding their bike or doing whatever outside. And then there are like groups of people like talking to each other, just like
Yeah.
big bunches of people in the road just hanging out. And I'm like, are you guys even trying?
Hmm.
Like, I'm not worried because I'm pretty sure I already had it. But like,
Oh yeah.
you people should, like at least pretend.
I think that at least outside wise, what I have going on for me in my apartment is probably like the best case scenario for it.
Hmm.
I have a very small deck. It's probably 10 feet by 10 feet tops,
Hmm.
and then there's like it's on the one side of my apartment, and then there's half my apartment, half my next door neighbor's apartment with like an outcrop, and then their deck. So I can't like turn my head to the side and be like, oh, there's my neighbor, howdly doodly. It's like, no, I just see a wall if I try and look at them.
Hmm.
So it's like I can still go outside, but I'm very effectively far away. I can just sit outside, like I was just sitting outside, enjoying the sun, listening to other podcasts that I think we're gonna rank on a video.
Nice.
Um, but it's like I feel like that's like a very good case scenario. Oh,
Hmm.
weirdest thing. There was a group of people having a mini party in the Chuck E. Cheese parking lot the other day.
Really? What do you mean? Like,
Like, so I looked out at one point, and there's like two groups of people and two cars, and they're taking pictures and stuff, like with, I guess, as the cars as backdrops or something like that. Because I was
mm,
just like, oh, fender bender. They're taking pictures for insurance.
hmm
And I guess they're photogenic about it. I don't know. They're just getting in
a
the way.
reasonable adult thought to have.
Um, and then as time grew on, I was like, oh, there's another car here. Probably someone's car is a lot more totaled than it looks. They're
Hmm.
probably doing. And there's like they're still standing outside and talking. And as time goes on, it's like these people are just having a party in the parking lot. Like, there's music. Like, I stepped outside, there was music playing,
Oh
and
my
people
god.
are like hugging and talking in like very small circles and stuff like that. And the weird part is, it's like there was like the age the age range was from like 6 to 60. Like, it was quite a
Wow.
range. And then I'm just looking at them like half of these people are masked up, wearing gloves, the whole shebang. And then the other half are just like kind of nonchalantly like, yeah, we're talking. And there was no like segregation either between the like
Well, good. We have laws
PPE
against that.
people, nice,
Thanks.
but the people with like the protection equipment, and
Yeah,
then the
yeah.
people without it. There was like, it was just like a random hodgepodge, and I'm just like, y'all need to pick one. Are you being safe or dangerous?
I know people really can't decide, and I think that that's like mainly why our country is being made fun of by all other
Mm-hmm.
countries, because they're like, you guys know this is like serious, right? And the U.S. is like, come on,
Yeah,
come
I
on, it's Easter time, come on.
I saw a post. I think it was like of a Tumblr post on Reddit or something like that, or another Reddit post on Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was someone out from outside of America. What does your country currently think of us as? Not even joking you. And the person's like, "Hi, Australia here. Um, with our shelter in place, nobody's allowed to leave their homes for any reason, countrywide, unless if it's like an essential or emergency or typical
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Um, and healthcare already taken care of, so nobody's worrying about getting tested and stuff like that.
Yep.
We're trying to get our country happy and healthy again, basically." And
Yeah,
they're
with all
like,
the Cheerios I can eat.
yeah. And then there's just America, where it's just like, boy, you guys can't decide like on like what to do. Your president's saying one thing, senators are saying another thing. And like it's all like just government shenanigans. And he's like, and they're like, you have to pay for treatment too. Let's just realize that. And it's just like,
We're not.
yeah, where this is America. Yeah, we are not in the in. Apparently, Australia is thinking like they're the ones that were like, "Are you really a first world country if you can't afford universal health care and stuff?" This
I
is the
believe
game we're
it.
playing.
Because there are plenty of countries right now who are saying the same thing. I've heard stuff from England is pretty much the same. Nobody's allowed to leave, pretty much under any circumstances. Um, and even if you do go outside, like, it's not uncommon for police to stop you and be like, "Why are you out here? What do you like? Give
Mm-hmm.
me a good reason." Which I don't think the U.S. will ever do that
No,
because we're like so angsty and rebellious that
mm-hmm.
like
We're
we're just gonna
angsty,
be like, "Oh,
rebellious, and no matter who's in charge or what situation, there's always going to be like a decent chunk that just doesn't trust them.
yeah," because like if the government starts telling people that they need to stay indoors or like the police will do something, then they're like, "Well, that's why I got my gun."
Yeah.
There'll be an uprising.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so it's like we're not in the best
Oh no,
place in
we're
the
not.
world to deal with this.
But you know, we're in the best place of the world for.
Freedom.
I was gonna say filming more podcasts.
Oh. I mean, same thing, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
But so I do have some thoughts on this whole situation because I had kind of a whole thing that I went through with this. Um, so like you, I have not been affected by this much at all. I can
Mm-hmm.
stay at home and do school. I'm pretty much working out the same amount as I was before. It's just now that I've bought weights for home, so I'm just doing
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Um, like I'm actually going outside more. I have time to play video games and hang out with friends online more, surprisingly now, because I'm not stuck at school for 12 hours a day, and I'm also, not exhausted from being at school all the time. So I've been pretty much fine. The main thing is, I'm just not like going out with like actually physically seeing people anymore.
But you're still interacting.
But I still interact with them because we have the interwebs. So that's like pretty much all I need for most people. So when all this was starting and like schools were starting to shut down and stuff, I thought it was kind of ridiculous. I was one of those people who was like, it's really not that serious. Like, we need to calm down. It's not that bad.
Oh, I was in the same boat.
And like, I don't feel bad for thinking that way because I still thought like this really isn't. I don't think this is the end of the world. Like, because I remember doing research on it, like the responsible citizen I am, forming my own opinions and whatnot.
How dare you?
I looked it up and I was like, okay, so coronavirus is actually a general term for like a bunch of types of viruses. It's like just I don't know if it's a family or like some kind of clade group of viruses that also includes like the common cold. So I was like, okay, so this is basically like a strain of flu. This is just basically a new strain of flu. So not that like nothing too crazy is how I kind of felt about it. But then everything started to get shut down. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, why are we shutting these things down? It's not that bad. But then I see how much it is spread, and like I see there are quite a few deaths throughout the world. Not nearly as many as people who have recovered, which I don't think is covered enough.
Explained enough, yeah.
Like, nobody talks about how many people have recovered. There are stories here and there where people are like, this 94-year-old woman recovered from corona, and everyone's like, woo! And it's like, well, there's tons of people who did that. Like, it's not just that one lady. But I don't know. So I'm not yelling, oh, it's the media, but like, we could definitely cover it better, I think, with what's actually going on. And then what else did I say? So yeah, I was definitely on the side of this is not that serious. We should calm down. But now I'm more in the boat of like, hey, I'll do whatever to keep this thing from going out of hand, because there are plenty of people that maybe I don't know personally, but there are plenty of people in the world who
are very affected.
Can't deal with this as well as I can. So taking it upon myself to be like, all right, if I have the ability to stay inside and to not infect people, then I'm going to do that. Even though today I went outside and had no sort of protection, just kind of wandering around. But at the same time, like I'm not trying to interact with people. I'm going outside to go into the woods or like into a state park.
You're literally going out of your way to avoid people.
Yeah. So it's not my fault that it happens to be incredibly popular that day when I go. It's like, you people could also stay home. I'm just here to see snakes.
Now, kind of getting off topic there a little bit. You're going out to see snakes. Is there any reason for that?
Well, I mean,
does Danny have to be involved?
He was involved 2 times that I went out. Today it was just me with some people from school, and I've been showing them around because they're not from around here. So I want to show them some fun local species. Although, yes, I have done some filming with Danny for our YouTube channel. It should be uploaded soon. I have the videos. He wants me to look over them, and I just have not yet. And I'm slacking. But I'm going to do it tomorrow, and I'm going to send it to him so we can actually upload it. Yeah. And then, we'll have a channel. And you should all check that out. It'll be cool.
What's it called?
It's called Calum and Danny Save the World. We call it that because Danny came up with it, and I didn't feel like thinking of anything else. But mostly it's because it's kind of a conservation-related channel. It's mostly like we're going out into the woods, we're seeing cool nature things, and I'm saying fun nature facts. And Danny's there too, and he says things. Usually comedic relief. And I think it'll be really cool, and I like to add in little messages about conservation, what people can do. Because I think that's necessary right now. I could probably go off on that topic for a while, but I think
Oh, we
there's not
both can.
enough. There's not enough stuff out there right now as far as conservation in the media,
Hmm.
in my opinion. I
There
think
is.
there's plenty of like things, like there are shows out there that cover it. There's messages, news articles, whatever, organizations, but I feel like it's much. I feel like it's honestly less than it used to be.
I
You
think
know.
I do. I feel I can agree with you there. I feel like it is less
Hmm.
than there once was, but I also think that there's. I feel like it's harder, not harder to pronounce, but it's like they're doing it in a different way, and
Yeah.
it's weird because it's like there's some shows that you see on like Animal Planet where it's like we're gonna build tree houses.
You mean Pete Nelson, the Treehouse Master?
There you go. But then you also get things such as like the show The Zoo, where it's like really going
Hmm.
heavy into the Bronx Zoo or San Diego Zoo and what they do behind it,
Yeah,
or the Irwins.
that's true. The Irwins are still doing their thing, and I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
they're doing a show as well. So it's like I feel like it's one of those weird things of like there are still things out there about it, but also it's very much losing popularity.
Yeah, I guess that probably sums it up better because I just like I remember growing up and we had, the Crocodile Hunter Diaries, we had the
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Corrin Experience.
The regular
There were
Crocodile Hunter, the
um,
show.
mhm. We had Brady Barr was doing stuff. We had Austin Stevens doing things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of mostly reptile related people because that's just kind of
Yeah.
what I watched. But
Do you
they did
remember
other
Big
stuff.
Cat Diaries?
Big
Did you
Cat
watch
Diaries
that?
was there. We had the Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom.
That was another one. Also,
Um,
honestly, Most Extreme.
Most Extreme, another
That
one
that
that
was
like
definitely one that did like that really showed off things in a cool way. I feel like.
yeah. No, I think that was a fun way to get kids interested in animal stuff with all their like little clips and fun facts mixed in there. And then we had as well. I just had one. Um, we had the kind of resurgence of all these big documentaries. We had Blue Planet and Life on Earth and all these other things, and they
Living
still do
Planet.
them.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I feel like it's really not as much as it used to. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to bring back kind of the golden days of conservation in the
Media.
media, not
Yeah.
really on television because I'm not on television, but like
Mm-hmm. I can honestly say I feel the same exact way.
yeah.
I've multiple times over the years have looked into things such as like the Discovery system
Hmm.
of networks, as
Yeah.
well as actually the PBS system, and
Yeah, PBS has good
seeing
stuff.
if they had openings in like animal related media fields
Hmm.
to do things with. And I was like, I've looked multiple times, thought of multiple, tried multiple like places, and I'm like, there's just like not like a field for it. Like they're not they're not trying to hire anyone new. It feels like,
Yeah,
which
that's kind of how I
because
feel.
it's like no offense to the Irwins, like they're doing great
Hmm.
work, but it's like I feel like that also the fact that they are the Irwins definitely worked in their advantage for being brought back
Yeah.
into the media. And the same thing with the Crap Brothers. Love them,
The Crap Brothers.
but
Yeah.
it's like when they were thinking of a show like a new cartoon for to teach kids about animals, they went to the Crap Brothers,
Hmm.
who sure they're probably behind the creative force behind it, but still it's like
It's just not the same.
mm-hmm.
There's
Although
not as much hype around it, and
yeah,
like
I won't deny Wildcrats is pretty good.
it's good, but it's just like I don't think it's really like the quality in the shows is diminishing. I think it's just they're only really appealing to the generation that originally watched them,
Mm-hmm.
and like not enough people, or not enough kids, I guess specifically, are interested in that stuff anymore. At least it doesn't feel
Yeah.
like it.
You know what they're doing? It's like the re-release of Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee,
Yeah.
where they're taking some of the newer things. In this case, it's like more modern techniques and stuff and media, and they're just repackaging the old stuff that people watched when they were younger, because
Hmm.
now they're more likely to have kids and stuff, and they're just doing it over.
Yeah, basically. And it's like it's good for the people who grew up on it. I
Mm-hmm.
just don't think it's as interesting for the actual kids nowadays. And I don't know if that's a problem on like the people producing the shows, or is it more just the kids? I don't know. There's like a disconnect, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like. Because I know when I'm teaching bio, because I was, TAing for general biology,
Mm-hmm.
um, there's like, I don't, it might just be the program that I'm specifically in or something, but like there's no like animal people. There are no
Yeah,
kids in there that are there because they want to learn about
animals.
animals. They all want to be, they're doing like pre-med.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be occupational therapists, physical therapists. It's all like human stuff or medicine, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's obviously a necessary thing to have in society, and the more the better, I guess, unless we completely um, oversaturate that field. But
Mm-hmm.
it was just kind of surprising to me that it's like I'm teaching a biology class here, and
And
not a single person in this room other than me is interested in animals. It's
yeah,
like, what?
and
That's a massive branch of biology that we're missing out on right now.
and from our experience in college,
Hmm.
it's like where we went to a very heavy animal school
Yeah,
and like literally it's like if you're talking about science, you're the weird one if you're not talking about animal related like biology or science. You
that's
must
true.
be on the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a really weird place to come from, where we're so used to it, and now it's like, I don't know. It's just not the same unless you're in that specific environment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, kind of off topic, a little on topic, but that's the
Yeah.
main reason why I want to do this, is because I was inspired by all these people growing up who inspired. They showed me
Right.
how awesome
Mm-hmm.
animals are and how nature is, and it's like I think more people need to see that stuff, because I think we're kind of forgetting about it, even though
Yeah.
there are more pushes nowadays for like reusable stuff, banning plastic and
Mm-hmm.
straws and all these minor movements, team trees.
Team Trees has.
Um, I feel like there's not enough people inspired to
Yeah.
do that stuff. It's all these like kind of little movements
Yeah, that
that don't
sure
really get to
they add
the.
up like and help out, but
Hmm.
all right, I'll
It's
tell
not
you
the
what.
same as kind of inspiring the next generation to like want to do it as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. We can sit down and work out some cast pod conservation.
Hmm. Yeah, we'll
Ooh,
definitely come back to this.
I like that. Well,
Caspod conservation.
so when Calum and Danny save the world fails because Danny failed to save the world.
That's true. It's tough.
I heard he's not editing the videos fast enough for you.
Well, I mean, come on.
We could start cast pod conservation.
There we go. Coming at you soon.
Yeah, it is. Oh yeah, because like my apartment's filled with animals already.
That's true.
And then also, I just recently got a bunch of posters. The girlfriend
Ooh.
walked home with, I think, posters of native PA, snakes, turtles,
Oh,
salamanders, frogs. I think there's one of lizards as well.
I know those posters. I like those.
Yeah, so we have a couple of really nice like posters that I think we're gonna hang on our staircase.
Oh, that's awesome.
like going up to our actual apartment from the door.
Mm-hmm.
That or
Yeah.
miscellaneously hang them around our apartment, but I think we're gonna hang it going up the staircase. We'll see.
Oh, that'll be cool. I really do like those.
Mm-hmm.
Those posters are pretty
Yeah.
cool.
You were the first person I was like, Calum's not gonna leave the steps for like an hour.
That's true. I will just stand there and look at them.
Mm-hmm. All right. So now I have this question. I kind of forgot about it, and then I just remembered it again.
Sure.
With the whole coronavirus and stuff going on,
Mm-hmm.
do you have to take extra precautions because you have a baby?
I feel like probably, but we're really not. Because my sister, walks around the neighborhood with the dog and the baby. And then like I'll go out and come back in and everything will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't, as far as I can tell, we haven't really done anything like that. So I don't know if I'm just a bad person or what,
Okay.
but
I was
yeah.
more wondering because I was talking to my parents and
Mm-hmm.
just, weekly phone call.
Right.
And we were talking about, I was like, oh yeah, there's a possibility Calum might come over for a couple of days to escape the baby.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm immunocompromised, my mom's all like, oh lordy, my baby can't interact with someone who's possibly gotten sick. And I'm just like, nah, he's fine. Calum's sister has the baby in the house, so, they're taking extra precautions. So I just found out I
Yeah.
lied to my mom. Like,
Well,
I mean, nothing's new there, but still.
we can just pretend,
Oh yeah. I'm gonna come over here, maybe shoot a handful of videos
Yeah.
for another CastPod series.
Yes. Looking forward to that.
That's gonna. I think I'm set up for 3 of the videos already.
Heck yeah.
If we could get honestly, if we could get a solid 6 of them,
Mm-hmm.
where we don't have to worry about it for a month and a half ish, that'd be what's up.
I think we could probably do that pretty easily.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you wanna come over tomorrow, I'm here alone. Molly starts a new job tomorrow, so it's
Oh,
just gonna
congrats.
be me by myself from 8 to 5.
I would like to, but I'm actually fairly busy tomorrow. I've got lots of menial labor tasks at home to do.
Yeah, I was also planning on pre-recording some story mode Sundays because I'm
Nice.
working the next couple of Sundays, so I was just like, I'm just gonna pre-record them and
That'll be
release them
fun.
as needed. All right.
Let's see.
So
Just thinking, we definitely got off topic on the coronavirus thing,
oh yeah,
but that's okay. That's the whole point of CastPod,
CastPod.
is we don't really.
We're an episode
We
of The
have an idea,
Simpsons.
and then we just kind of go.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of which, we're hitting around the 45-minute mark. So you know what that's time for?
Oh, is it time for our segments?
Our segments. Do you want to go first or should I?
I will go first.
All right, give me a quick second. Get
Sure.
ready for the screen to change suddenly with me being lazy and not doing any smooth transition. Yep, that was a lot of hard cuts because I don't feel like working it on OBS.
I'm proud of you.
Mm-hmm. All right, Calum, what do we have today on Dingus Dictionary?
So we have, I have one word right now. I'm just looking for the other one, but I have to remember how to spell it. Okay.
Now, here's a question. Do I get a bonus point if it's a word that I spell right that you spelled wrong somehow?
Sure.
Now, that will never happen.
You never know.
It will never happen.
All right, I have my words.
All right.
I have 2 words for you today. Your first word is, this is one, most of the words that I give you are words that I read in the paper or just like found randomly. Because that's where I find all of my words, is by reading massive amount of scientific papers. So this word is consortium.
Consortium.
Mm-hmm.
Can you use it in a sentence? Like, can you even put those sounds together? Really? Is that legal?
How do I make this into a sentence? Is there a sentence made for me? Dictionary.com. Okay, there was a consortium of ferrets in my yard the other day.
Okay. I'm gonna say it is.
Probably used that wrong.
It is for a gathering of at least 10 individuals.
It's pretty close. It is an association, typically of several business companies.
Oh, nice. Because it's a
And
business of ferrets.
Yes, a business of ferrets. So, well done. But wait, you didn't spell it, did you?
Oh, no. I'm just going to go sound it out. CONSORTIUM.
Spot on.
Hey.
All right, now this next one, though.
Oh, no.
This next one. Oh, boy.
Now watch this one.
Okay, I just have to make sure I pronounce it correctly.
No. My head is in my hands.
Sesquipedalian.
What?
Sesquipedalian.
Okay, so sesquipedalian. I'm just gonna start with a guess of it is an order of snails.
Good guess, but no.
Does it mean that they walk around on 5 toes?
Nope. Although that is a plantigrade.
Yeah.
There's another word for you.
Sesquipedalian is something found in the Susquehanna River.
I really like these answers, I must say. They're not correct, but I like them. So, would you like your final? Would you like the definition?
Yes.
Okay. The definition of sesquipedalian is one who uses big words.
So what you're telling me is it's not an order of snails.
It is, as far as I know, it is not an order of snails.
All right.
I wish.
Here's the move: Caspod conservation. We are going to locate some snails, and we're going to discover a new one, just to call them Sesquipedalianae.
No, I'm googling orders of snails.
All right.
Snail facts. I found a page called Snail Facts. But anyways, continue. I'll deal with that later.
The spelling is Sesquipedalian.
Oh, right. Yeah, you gotta spell it.
Sesquipedalean. No, Aleean. No, Dian. What?
I have no idea. I want somebody to write out what you just spelled.
This will be like the first meme that we animate for us. It's
just spelling out.
It's just the letters popping up on
what you
screen.
Just said. Okay, the real spelling is SESQUIPEDALIAN.
Okay. So I got a bunch of the right letters.
There were definitely letters in what you said.
Some of them were right. Others weren't.
Debatable, yeah.
Some of them were in the wrong spot. So I'm gonna give myself half a point.
I think you get a point, yeah.
Why? I mean,
So
I'll
there you
take
go.
it.
Those are your words. And I challenge everybody at home listening to use those words
To
in
follow
the
the
future.
process of me trying to spell it.
I consider myself quite the sesquipedalian.
Oh.
Haha.
I'm going to use it at work on Wednesday, and they're just going to be like, you don't know what that means.
You'll be like, yes, I
Quit
do.
pretending.
I just can't spell it.
I mean, I can't spell a lot of things.
It's fine.
Alrighty. Doing some hard cuts on the screen
Boom,
for
boom.
real or fake this week. Alright. Oh, I just remembered something that grinds my gears about coronavirus. Well, I'll get to it in the next episode.
Alright.
It's specifically wrestling related too.
Yeah, I forgot about all the sports.
Alright. So, Calum, is this real or is this fake?
Fake.
A giant egg was at a bunch of events and on TV for months. But it turned out to be a wrestler who's in a very big family of wrestling in a turkey suit, and it just danced around. You get 3 questions. Is it real or fake?
How long was this egg just kind of sitting around?
I believe it was for at least 3, but I believe closer to 6 months.
This dude was sitting in an egg for 6 months. The dedication to his craft.
Yes.
Insane. Okay. So it's a wrestler of a big family of wrestlers.
Yes.
And his whole shtick was
So
to be
this,
an egg.
I would say, this wasn't his whole shtick.
Right.
He
did
just
other
happened to
things.
get tasked with the role of
Okay.
being the
See,
bird.
the other guy quit for being an alien,
Yes.
but that was his whole shtick.
Yes, that was his whole shtick. That was, but he had to do 365.
Dang. That just made me think of Disney 365. What a throwback.
Okay.
Trying to think what other questions would help me out here. So was this like a Thanksgiving special that they were leading up to or something?
It did hatch at Survivor Series, which
They were on
is the
Survivor?
pay-per-view closest to Thanksgiving.
Okay. Pay-per-view closest to Thanksgiving.
Let me just...
Disney 365. God, this totally sounds like something that could like easily be real, because wrestling is insane, and I'm never surprised by things that I hear about it.
And I'll make it a little bit more weird.
Okay.
The year was 1990.
Dang. People really liked eggs in the 90s. I'm gonna go for 6 months. Just an egg.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that this is fake.
Is that your final answer?
This is, well, you laughed at me, so I want to say no.
No, I'm putting that in for you as fake. You
I'm
are
sticking to
wrong.
No, I knew it was too dumb to be fake.
Survivor Series 1990, known for the debut of The Undertaker, my favorite wrestler.
It was him who came out of the egg. It was the Undertaker. No.
The bird that hatched from the egg was the gobbledygooker.
You've got to be kidding me.
No jokes. Look it up. And the wrestler inside
gobbledygooker.
was Hector Guerrero. The most famous on the American side is Eddie Guerrero.
Mm-hmm.
Very known for a great wrestler, great personality. And the Guerreros are very big in Mexico and El Paso. They grew up like right across the border. So yeah, and for years since then, someone will randomly dress up like the gobbledygooker, or randomly throughout the year, or randomly around like every other Thanksgiving-ish, and just kind of showing up like it.
That is the dumbest thing.
Mm-hmm. Here.
The gobbledygooker. I feel like I'm saying something bad. I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that.
Here. I'm gonna post it in the Discord, so Dan and Danny are gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah, I just hope they see it and they're like, "What is going on?"
That
here?
is when it hatched at Survivor Series.
What? What? I just clearly I've been missing out.
Oh, you have been.
I've been watching the wrong sports. That's insane. That is a real thing. Wow, he looks terrible.
It does.
Although like with the guy from last week with
Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, with the alien thing, like
yeah.
How is he upset by that? But then you look at this and like, this is your line of work, dude. This is what you signed up for. It's this nonsense.
Yep. But it's a good portion of it is weird because back in the I would say pre-1995, a lot of wrestlers had a decent size impact of what they say going. Actually, I would say pre-2000. What they say is this is what it's gonna be. And they have a valid opinion on what they do. So when Cody was being Stardust, his opinion really was overlooked by a lot of the writers and stuff like that.
I see.
But this man willingly got into this suit.
This guy was like, sign me up.
The funnier part is, it was almost The Undertaker.
I was almost
close.
Right.
He was
almost
very
made a prediction.
close to being The Undertaker. Oh my gosh.
Could you imagine?
I just saw that. The Gobbledygooker has an action figure.
Oh, I need it. He has his
All
own Gobbledygooker action figure.
That is going to be... I feel like that should be CastPod's first official purchase. We need to go out of our way to get a Gobbledygooker action figure.
We need to find out where that is. It's probably highly coveted. Many people are on the lookout for the Gobbledygooker. I feel like that's... I keep saying it, and now it sounds like a boogeyman kind of thing.
It does.
Like the Gobbledygooker's gonna come for me in the night.
That reminds me, I gotta cross that one off the list for the things I have in the future.
Use a good one. Oh my god. Okay. Well, that's something I'm gonna be thinking about for a few days.
It's custom made. There's one that's custom made.
Ooh.
There's oh my god, there's an unreleased one. And boy howdy is it ugly.
I don't think there's any way to make it look good.
Alright. We can get into this at a different time.
Yeah. If you enjoyed listening to the nonsense of this episode, it went from really serious to gobbledygooker in no time. But thank you for listening. We will be back with regular episodes. Are we doing every Tuesday? What are we doing?
I think we're going to go for every Tuesday again. That's what we originally did, and I'm not against doing it over.
That's true. All right. So for now,
So yeah,
we're gonna be
Tuesdays 10 a.m. I believe is the
nice.
race time. Check us out on our you're on our YouTube channel if you're listening to this because
That's true.
Podbean makes you pay money, and that was a lot more money than I wanted to pay at the time.
Yeah, I think that's understandable.
We are going to try and branch out to more platforms still. Check out CastPod Games. We've got I put up the first story mode Sunday already.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Calum's going to try and post some videos as well. Correct. Yeah. All right.
We're going to be posting our showdown stream on there soon.
Mm-hmm. And future showdown streams as well.
Yeah, much more to come in that department. But definitely at least keep your eye out for more CastPod episodes coming every Tuesday on the YouTube channel and eventually in other places.
Mm-hmm. And check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/ballyache for your boy Kevin here.
And twitch.tv/VannyD for me.
I stream a lot more infrequently and worse gameplays than Calum, so check him out more. He's the one you want to watch. I'm just there for the pity follow.
Nah, Kevin does more unique games than I do. I do pretty stereotypical stuff, and Kevin does a lot more story mode related things. So definitely check him out for that.
And then also we have a Twitter now.
Oh shoot!
CastPod tweets or
I
CastPod tweeter. I don't know.
But CastPod does.
Yeah. I used to have a Twitter. I haven't used it. I think it was I passed the 5-year anniversary of me using that Twitter. But CastPod tweeter on Twitter. There's 3 tweets all about CastPod returning. And you know what? If you have any pictures of the gobbledygooker,
please tweet at CastPod.
Yes, tweet at CastPod. Tweet CastPod at CastPod tweeter, hashtag gobbledygooker. Can we get the gobbledygooker trending? I need to see this. This will be the campaign of CastPod. This is what we're here for. Forget anything else. This is our. We're gonna get the gobbledygooker over. We're gonna bring him back. All right. Yep. Thank you for listening. It's been a pleasure. Till next time. See you.